hear me? Let's see how this works out. If this works out at all. Back to normal. Hello? Good. It seems to be working. Good. It seems to be working. All right. I can turn off the sound here and go back to my baking recipe. So, a bit of a challenge this morning. Bit of a challenge this morning because there's birthday in the house. I'm up first, and everyone was really tired yesterday, went to bed early, so I need to bake a banana cake, which I'm going to attempt this morning. So you're going to get to watch part of that process as I prepare all of the ingredients for the baking as the day goes along. So be kind to me in chat. This is something different from kettlebell, but doesn't mean that we can't talk about sleep. And by the way, this is also part of living a healthy life when it comes to the skill of cooking and baking. Baking treats, cooking nice things can come in handy and could save your life and can make you very happy. So here I am, and let me know what you think about everything that goes on in the comments or the chat. I'd obviously love to hear from you, and I'm going to be moving around a lot, so I might be a bit off camera once in a while, but you just let me know what you think in chat or how you're doing while we talk about life and sleep as a skill. And I also hope sincerely that there's not too much noise for you on the background, because I think the dishwasher is running because the kitchen was a big mess after I made pizzas yesterday. And then, like I just said, everyone was really tired after the day and went to bed on time. So, in any case, I'm making some sort of vegan, partish, vegetarian banana bread, and I'm preparing all of the ingredients for that adventure as we speak, and hopefully afterwards I will have a little bit of time to go on a little bit of a run, because I would really enjoy being able to do that this morning. Despite this is a completely different dynamic from kettlebells, isn't it? So here you see me in a place where I maybe am not as comfortable, but we're giving it a go anyway, because baking is joy and baking is life. No, but I would. It's always nice when the children are happy and smile. And the nice thing about baking your own stuff is that you get to adjust the recipe and the amounts of sugar, etc., for example, that are actually added to the foods, because you're in charge of them. But hey, here we are, and we are talking about health and fitness and sleep, and I hope you can all hear me. I think the sound was working just fine a few moments ago. That's right, Eddie, I am cooking. And I can tell you that it is not something that I am particularly well versed in or good at. And I also do really want to have a cup of coffee, something like that. Cup of coffee before we actually really start all of the cooking. Because this is, not something that I do very often, but I honestly believe that probably the tap running is not very, very comfortable sound. Sorry about that. It'll be done in a minute. It's not something that I do very often, baking that is, cooking I do. But let's give this a try and let's see how this goes. So we are making a banana cake. And as we're making that banana cake, we are going to be talking about sleep. And specifically sleep as a skill and sleep as something we can get better at over time. And probably won't be a very long stream, but it is going to be a little conversation this morning that I am glad we get to have before going on a run. It is also Sunday morning, right, for me. It's about 6:15 a.m. And life is chaos. No, I'm joking. But sometimes schedules, children, life, priorities, everything taken together, some things just need to get done first thing in the morning. I think I have all of the ingredients ready, so I'm going to start mixing and putting them together. And let's just see how that works. So we're going to heat up the oven. And I'm going to heat up the oven to 180 degrees. No, we're not. Still need to remove last night's baking paper from it. And then we're going to heat up the oven to 180 degrees. And then once we have done that, let's see if there are any other comments here. Antonio Constantino, ciao. Thanks for dropping by, saying hi. I appreciate that. And YouTube Punk, isn't this something different, right? You can see I'm nervous. But we're having a good time anyway, because if I get this done, I might get to go on a run this morning in the forest, and it is such a nice and lovely morning for that. So let's see where this takes us. All right, the oven is heating up, and I am going to sift the flour, mix it together with the sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt. Do we have some cinnamon? I'm not sure if we have any cinnamon. We have cinnamon. Oh my God. We actually have cinnamon. So we're going to put all of that together. Okay. So sleep as a skill, sleep as something we can get good at, right? Because I think we've talked about sleep quite a bit over the last week. So I think it's pretty clear that sleep is important for a number of reasons. And one of the reasons is that we get stronger when we sleep, we recover when we sleep, and our body actually manages a whole bunch of processes while we are sleeping, and it's important for us to actually be aware of that and make sure that we understand that as we want to get healthier and fitter and stay healthy and fit for life, that sleeping just is a huge part of that equation. There's nothing wrong with having a poor night's sleep once in a while, or not being able to find a regular bedtime yet. But what is important is that we're aware of the importance of sleep as a tool in our toolkit to become and stay healthy over time. So the big 4 things to know about sleep, right, is we get stronger when we sleep, recover when we sleep, we have better willpower when we sleep, and our overall sense of well-being improves as we sleep better. And I think it's important for us to realize and remember that as we plan our weeks and our days and our fitness goals, is that sleep should be an essential part of the planning as much and as seriously as we would plan for our workouts and as we would plan for a workout as we would plan for our food, because very often, right, when it comes to health and fitness, we say we're going to work out, we say we're going to eat better, and then we think, well, sleep's just something we do, so it should be fine if we just keep on doing it. But that's not true. We need to take sleep very seriously, because if we don't, we run the risk of not recovering, not giving our body ample time to recover, and by not giving our body ample time to recover, we actually cheat ourselves of the opportunity to actually grow stronger and make full use of the effort we're putting into our training. All right. As you can see, multitasking is at least a challenge. I find this quite hard, but here we are. I think we're doing A-okay for the moment. And I definitely am realizing now that I have no intention of turning this into a cooking show ever. But still, maybe I should do a segment on how I make my healthy pancakes or chop a salad, and we can have that conversation while those kinds of things are being done. All right. Oh, I still needed to spray the pan. Stick around because this might get real funny real fast. Okay, let's see. That needs to sit. Blend. That means the oven is done. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. I also need a banana. Thank you. You are at the right temperature. I appreciate you informing me of that very important fact. So the last time I tried to take an egg out of one of these things, it actually burst. And that was pretty hard. How do these people on these cooking shows do this? Like, they must... Do you think they rehearse? Yeah, they probably do, actually. They probably rehearse their show into exhaustion, and just to make sure that they are capable of doing this without too many hiccups. And here I am, like, doing it on the fly, trying to talk about sleep and well-being. So it's also a good test to see of how well I actually know what I'm talking about when it comes to sleep and well-being. Luckily, I do feel I am well enough versed in that topic at the moment. So hey, we are going to have to add these bananas into this, and we're going to blend them quickly, or mush them quickly. And when we've done that, we are going to add all the ingredients together and mix, I believe, is what we are supposed to do. So let's see how that's going to play out. Up into the sink together with all of the other junk. No, actually, I don't believe in that. I believe in throw it all away, right away, so I don't have to deal with the mess later. All right, sorry, more water. All right, so sleep. We get stronger, we recover, better willpower, better well-being. Let's talk about one of the adverse side effects of a lack of sleep, and that is low-grade inflammation. All right, so inflammation is a sign for our body that our body needs to get to work, that the immune system needs to work, and it's usually present. I really didn't think this through. So it's usually present in a way as something that is undesirable. We don't want inflammation in our body. We actually want to bring inflammation down, because the presence of inflammation, especially chronically, is related to the development of a whole bunch of diseases that we would rather avoid. All right? So just keep that in mind. We want to avoid low-grade inflammation. And if a lack of sleep leads to low-grade inflammation, well, then we probably want to be doing our best to actually I appreciate you being so on board, YouTube Punk, and I'm sorry you finally made it to a live stream, and it's a baking and cooking live stream and not a kettlebell one. But thanks for being fun and present in the chat. I do really appreciate that. We want to avoid this low-grade inflammation by sleeping well, because our overall health outcomes will be better. All right, second thing about sleep that we need to keep in mind is that we have this thing called the prefrontal cortex. Now we have the prefrontal cortex that we need to work with. That is the part of our brain that makes us human, and the prefrontal cortex is going to have to help us sorry, I just need to read the instructions because I'm a bit lost. At step 4, okay, add bananas. Combined. I would also need to just very quickly melt some of this in a little pan. How much do we need? 60 milliliters. Okay. Would that be the same? That would be quite significant, I believe. There we go. All right, so the prefrontal cortex. Let's talk about the prefrontal cortex and what that is going to do, what a lack of sleep will do to our prefrontal cortex. The first thing that's going to happen when we don't sleep well is that our prefrontal cortex is going to become slightly structurally unsound, as in a lack of sleep will affect the actual physical structure of our brain. Okay? Now that's undesirable because the way it affects it is negatively. So it actually makes it function worse. That's the other effect of the lack of sleep. We lose the ability to actually make proper use of our prefrontal cortex, which is the part of our brain that helps us plan ahead, think, rationalize, make good decisions, etc. So you can see how low-grade information, inhibition of the prefrontal cortex tie into getting stronger, recovery, willpower, well-being. They are obviously important aspects of the overall, I should put it, impact of sleep on how well we're able to function as people. But there's more, because apparently if we don't sleep well, we will eat more. And I think this is an important one to realize, that that we will eat more food if we aren't well rested. In fact, we might eat up to 300 to 400 calories more of food if we're not well rested. And I'd say that is quite the amount especially if we are sorry about that. If we are trying to manage our weight, is that a bit doable with the sound, or is it really, it's probably really horrible. I'm sorry. So, yeah, we tend to overeat when we are suffering from a lack of sleep. We tend to overeat about 300 to 500 calories or 400 to 300 to 400 calories in a day. Now, imagine, because one of the stated goals for health and fitness, right, is the fact that we want to ideally maintain a stable weight over an extended period of time. That is usually a worthwhile goal. In some cases, we might want to lose some weight, usually specifically some fat mass to replace that or to improve certain health markers. In some cases, we might want to gain some muscle mass in order to improve our overall health and well-being. But whatever that is, our goal is, increased eating is usually going to work against us because we tend to prefer fatty foods when we don't sleep well, and we just generally overeat calories, which makes it harder to stay within our energy balance, which makes it harder to maintain a stable weight over an extended period of time. All right, so important to realize, I'm at step 5. Pour the blended banana over the dry ingredient and mix in. Okay. Well, we're almost done. We're going to do this slightly different. So we're adding all of this into the mix, and we're going to whisk that in as we talk about hormones, because lack of sleep will also affect our... I am so bad at this, guys. I'm so sorry. This is probably real-time comedy online. So look. Well, this is starting to look like something, I think. We need to talk about hormones, so don't go anywhere. The flaxseed applesauce. Okay, this is supposed to be slightly liquid and buttery, I think. It seems to be far from it to my mind, but I might have the wrong of it, so we're doing a little bit of vanilla and egg. Ow. And then we're gonna whisk that all together even further. So we need to talk about hormones. Oh, hey, this is starting to look like a cake batter. I'm going to show you in a moment. I think I might actually be able to be proud of myself. All right. Wow, look at that. I think I did pretty well. That would be just like me to then drop my creation. All right, let's bring this oven back up to speed. Hormones. Insulin, leptin, cortisol, the regulation of all those hormones is dysregulated by a lack of sleep. And hey there, Melby. Thanks for dropping by. It's a bit of a different episode today. There's a birthday in the house, and I need to bake for the birthday because I'm the first one up, and it's not my birthday. So I am making a banana cake, banana bread in a cake shape because that was the request. Pour the batter. Okay, we're almost done here, so we can continue this conversation in a bit. And probably coming to realize that I should have just prepared all the batter. And then should have come and made a live stream. That might have been more efficient, but it would have been way less entertaining for everyone on the stream, isn't that right? So hey, here you got an insight into my somewhat mediocre baking skills, but I am a firm believer that cooking, like many other things, is a skill, and it's something that we can get good at through practice and effort over time. And it's also, I believe, quite a valuable skill to have. Oh, would you look at that? I'm going to get all that goodness out of the pan and into the baking tray. I don't know what this is going to taste like, but I am proud of myself for making it this far. Hey, so hormone regulation, right? Hormones are essential for the way we function, for our well-being, and we should try to, how should I put it? We should try to make sure that we sleep well in order to help insulin, which helps us, or insulin regulation, which helps us deal with blood sugars, right? Leptin, which helps deal with hunger satiation, I think, and cortisol, which is stress hormone, has other functions in the body. It's just important to make sure "40 minutes, people. Let's see what comes out of it," to make sure that our body is functioning the way it's supposed to. Another benefit of sleep is that good sleep clears the waste from the brain. Our brain cells shrink slightly, and I think it's called the glymphatic system, flushes out the brain waste, keeping our brain healthy and fresh and resetting it for tomorrow morning. So that is a good thing as well. Let's see, are there, oh, there's more in the chat. 40 minutes, I know. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that. And I hope more for this. Jay Hada, thanks for dropping by and sharing that. Probably wasn't in my notes for the episode, but I'll look that up. And thanks for sharing that factoid and a bit of information. I think for men, that is definitely very important, right? Then to get good sleep, to help our energy levels and our focus and our ability to be manly and lift heavy stuff. Let's see. Good sleep clears waste. And the final one, obviously, is growth hormone. Sleep is an anabolic state. It's where we repair muscles, and a lack of sleep will actually hinder our ability to repair and grow stronger. So there you have it. Coming full circle, when we start thinking about health and fitness, and we decide that we are going to work out and eat different, both very important, but without a focus on sleep and proper sleep, we're actually losing an opportunity to optimize the improvements in our health, our physical health, emotional well-being, mental well-being, and our general sense of how well we are doing. That's all I have for you. The cake's in the oven, 6:44. I want to go out for a run, so I think I can do a 30-minute run and be back by the time the cake's done, which is going to be great. Thanks for dropping by and joining me on this Sunday morning bake-off, which is a bit of a break of our usual kettlebell strength training and whatnot we might do before the workout. Next week we're going to be back to normal. Next week we're also going to do a check-in on the Wheel of Life. I'll talk a bit more about that this week because we've talked a lot about sleep this week, and I think the message on nutrition, fixing the basics, and if you didn't get the message on nutrition, go check out my long-form video. We talk about the base of the pyramid, energy balance, talking about macronutrients, protein, fat, carbohydrates, talking about how we can create consistency in our eating. And we've talked a lot about sleeping. This week we'll do a little check-in on how and where our life is and how we're progressing on our goals. And from there we're going to talk about training and progressive overload and building that physical ability in terms of mobility, conditioning, and strength to better prepare ourselves for a healthy and fit life. For all those who are watching and who don't know me, my name is Toby. I'm 41 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life, usually without the apron. I have my running clothes on under, as you can see. I do that by minding my sleep, minding what I eat, showing up for conditioning, strength, mobility training, spending time with people I love and care about, doing things that I enjoy, and generally trying to live a stress-free life. But this is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I would like to feel fit, capable, and competent for whatever life throws at me, whether that's baking a cake early in the morning or going for a 5-kilometer run once a week or anything in between. I appreciate all of you, YouTube Punk, Mel B, dropping by in chat, saying hi. Jay Ahada, thanks for dropping by as well. I appreciate you saying hello. Antonio and Eddie Spaghetti, very much appreciated. And I'm glad this more or less worked out. Who knows, if you want me to do this more often, you let me know in the comments and maybe we can do more of a food-related topics while I'm in the kitchen actually preparing food. Might be fun. In any case, friends, thanks for dropping by, saying hi, and remember, you're good just the way you are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'll see you tomorrow for another workout. Take care.